and he has understood the pains of the 12th standard student. Uh, this was his observation, and which I agreed with him, that most of the students, when they are in 12th standard, they join coaching classes. They are loaded with huge amount of homework and lots of course material with them. So whenever they come across any problem, if the problem is easy to understand, they try to solve. If the problem is difficult, you know what they do? They ignore. Some of them will ask their teachers. Most of them will simply ignore. Because even if they ignore the problem, there are so many other problems to study and understand concept. He said that he developed one app where through camera, mobile, you can capture the image of the problem. Then the image will be processed, the text will be extracted using natural language processing. The text will be understood. AI model will work there to find the solution from the database, and within fraction of or a few seconds of time, the solution will be available on the screen. That was their idea. How does it sound?
So my son has been using it. I'm always in actually. So even my seventh standard son also he knew about that. I never knew. They immediately just scroll down and just I said मम्मी इसको कोई मिलता है अभी मिल जाएगा सब में वो कैसे इतना टिपिकल चीज कैसे मिल जाएगा? They just showed me last year I mean 2 years back.
How much?
Online exams में बच्चे वो using that.
Right. So how much they were paying for this app?
I didn't pay anything. It was just free.
So those who have developed it, they spend a lot of time to develop that app. You know how much time it takes. And what is the revenue? No revenue. Zero revenue. When they develop this app, now see what happens. Whenever you come to know that there is some new idea come up, in Indian people are very smart in developing that. So they immediately duplicate it and develop it and make it available for us. So we really don't know who is the originator of that invention. But it is most of the apps are using it. There is one company also, they are using it on the image processing app. They, according to them, they were the first to develop that. And immediately they got 2.5 crores of rupees grant to convert this into business proposition. With that concept, they got 2.5 crores of rupees. With that, they incubated here. And they got award in one of the award shows where we all have gone and we have sponsored their travel tours. So in one day, up to night 2:30, I was trying to convince him that this is not a good idea for making business. And he was not listening to me. He wanted to stick to that idea only. That is one way is a good thing. I'm telling you. So he was arguing with me right night 2:30, and we had to go to the award show next day. So finally I said that okay, let's see. I like your idea, but you should not stick to only one idea because otherwise how will you survive? He said this idea is this is free for everybody. You know how many customers he got? 10 lakh users.
I mean, everybody, the students, all like company that they were very comfortable with that.
It's not easy to capture the market. It's easy to develop that. So he used the entire funding to make a market. He employed there are 40 people on payroll. One room was not sufficient, so they took another room. They are paying the fee. We charge 30,000 rupees per. And he has taken a bigger room where charges are 40,000 rupees. And he has taken additional second room. Somehow we are charging good amount here, minimum 25,000 up to 50,000 per room. Today, after this session, we'll be going there and see the business model of our incubation center. Not only infrastructure, but business model. Then after that, what happened? No? The 2.5 crores rupees started existing. And they were left out without any fund. And there are zero revenue. Because if they knew that if they start charging for students, everybody will run out. They cut down the employees. Then finally, slowly, they have to move out of this incubation center. They are working from home. That time COVID came. But they did make good revenue. Because there are no revenue at all. The revenue model was flop. Finally, the company closed down. And then they started looking for somebody to acquire it. Finally, they got one consultant who connected with Baiju. Baiju acquired it for 20 crores. Now, how does it fund? 20 crores is a small amount or big amount? Reasonably good amount. Okay. Why Baiju spent 20 crores rupees? What Baiju got in return? The business which is flop. The idea which could have been developed easily. What is the Baiju psychology to buy this? all answers are correct. They wanted to kill that competitor. Second thing, they knew that the idea is failed, but they have potential to do the business. There is a possibility that they may come out with another idea. Actually, he has purchased this student's mind, brain. Now they cannot do any business. And there's a MOU between them that 3 years entire team has to work with Baiju, and the 3 years they cannot do anything. Even PhonePe app, when it was developed, they started here in 2010. Both the founders were working in studying in this college, and they went to USA. One student, Rahul Chari, was from technical side, and Samir Nigam was from management side. One did MS in USA, second did MBA in India, and they were working in USA. Rahul Chari was working in, he did MS in Purdue University and working in Cisco. He worked there for 10 years. After working for 10 years, he did good amount of income. He told us that he has good amount of revenue. So he had balance of fund in crores. He came back to India. Both of them approached principal madam, and we offered them one single room. That was our incubation center started. You know what app they have developed? Such a brainy people, intelligent people, experienced people, rich people, and motivated people. They develop an app to download music, online music, and you have to pay for that so that music composer will get money. So definitely music company will be happy because in India people were downloading it free of charge. Nobody was paying, even though it is illegal. How many of you have paid? Before I complete the question, madam said no. Nobody will pay for that, right? We don't pay for music. If they develop, they hire the people here. We were not charging for it because that was a good experience for us to understand what the students are doing. And I was regularly interacting with them. They were sharing all kind of technologies they were using. They developed the app 2 years, rigor of development, no income, no salary. They were paying salary from their investment. At the end of the 2 years, first year it took 1 year to develop the app. After 1 year, they started doing marketing, zero revenue. They went to US and they tried to get connect with other companies. Nobody accepted. Finally, company closed down. The luck was in their favor. Flipkart company acquired their company. Entire team was purchased, shifted to Bangalore, and Flipkart said that 3 years you don't have to join any other company. 3 years you have to work in the company, and they have this entire project was scrapped. Flipkart did not continue with this project, but Flipkart wanted these people. That's what I said. Team is very important, and they knew that product failed, but team did not fail. So there's a possibility that they will come out with some other ideas. Finally, these people joined there. You know, these brainy people, they were understanding the Flipkart business. You know what is the USP of Flipkart? Unique selling point. When Flipkart was started, Amazon was already there in the market. What are the USP? Unique selling point of Flipkart. Amazon was also giving free delivery.
So that ad part
They understood the psychology of the Indian people because they're Indian, Bansal brothers. What is our Indian psychology? You pay first or you take product? Cash on delivery. Cash on delivery was not Amazon's model. So they allowed, Flipkart was started to sell online books. Okay, books were, the book that did not do well, but this cash on delivery was very attractive for Indian people because we see the product, if you like, then only you pay. Cash on delivery was a headache for Flipkart. Collecting cash, maintaining cash, carrying cash from one location to another location, metro cities like Mumbai, Delhi, Calcutta, Chennai, Bangalore. How it is difficult to manage this cash? Who understood this problem? Rahul Chari. And he developed this PhonePe app to collect this cash. Now, when PhonePe was developed, Paytm was already there. When Flipkart was developed, Amazon was also there. When Ola came, Uber was also there. Sawan sir was here. He said that software services are profit, but those who duplicate the business, they capture the new one. In fact, you see the cow gully, this merchant shop, golden shop. So many shops are in one line only. But most of the people will prefer to go to that lane instead of going to the scatter of shops. And more customers will come when people are there online in the same line. So PhonePe, I somehow nobody has given these people are using PhonePe. What did you use? PhonePe or Paytm? PhonePe. Nobody has given me convincing answer to why PhonePe is better than Paytm. And I feel that both are everything is same. Or college student product. I don't understand this. So what happened when PhonePe was developed? PhonePe developed it only taking Flipkart business in mind. That's what Chowdhury told me. And Bansal Brothers sanctioned 500 crores of rupees just to promote this 500 million, 3,500 crores of rupees, just to promote this app to the every city and every shop and every person. So the entire money was utilized just to make for market. And now everywhere, every corner, everywhere, GPay, PhonePe, Paytm is. So that's the story. Now they are not working in that company. The company has become unicorn. Unicorn means 1 billion company means 7,000. If you take a $1 equal to 75 rupees, then 7,500 crores minimum. They said that their company is $5 billion, and they are looking for investor, but somehow they are not getting it. Now they are shifted to Bangalore, and one office is in Singapore. We are still in contact with them, but very humble guy, very nice. But the first company that they started was Facebook. And then he said that he tried two, three companies, did not work well, but PhonePe was a great success. Now PhonePe comes to a college, recruit the student, and they pay 35 lakh rupees annual salary. That's it. Another company, I was just sharing with you, madam. I said I'll share with everyone. 2015, Kunal Patil, he came to our campus. That time we have started our incubation center. He said that he has got a great idea to start a company. The idea was not about it, first thing, according to me. According to him, it was a great idea. But we never say that idea is good or bad because no, you never know which idea will be successful. So the idea was to offer a job. He wanted to develop a portal where job seeker and job provider will come on the same platform and they'll recruit the people. Who does this? Naukri.com. And Naukri.com is a listed company. The share price is very high, and they are doing pretty well. And these people wanted to compete with them, and they wanted to develop this new app. So we said, okay, if you want, you can incubate it. We never say no to anyone. We said that room rent charges are 25,000 rupees per month plus GST. It goes around 30,000 rupees. He had no money to pay that charge. He said, I cannot spend this. He went back. After 15 days, again he came back. And he said that he got two students from this college, pass out student. One name? Mohit and Nilesh Dungarwal from IT department. Madam is from IT department. And you might have taught them.
Yes, sir.
How were they in the class?
Good, sir. Mohit was good.
They were not very good. They were not very good. They were hardworking. I remember very well. I taught them, and they were sitting on the last bench, always thinking differently. I know Nilesh Dungarwal because he was there in my IDC too. And one day I sent him out because he was talking with somebody. So what I'm trying to tell is that these people thinking, you never know what they do. This idea was not at all good, but they were very, very hardworking and very good in coding. Both of them developed that app. 3 years struggling period. After that, they started getting good response. Initially, they were not charging. After that, they started charging. And when they were here, the team size was 20 to 25. Then went out of this campus. The team size increased to 100. Today, after 7 years, there are 600 employees on payroll. And valuation of the company is 500 crores. And funding that they recorded more than 50 crores from Japan. Now that app is very popular among the students. Working here. Why I was not happy with their idea was because Naukri.com was already existing and they had nothing to provide different than Naukri.com. But they did good marketing. So these are the few examples. Now I am going to share in the next 30 minutes few examples in edutech sector because we all are from education sector. So just tell me after 12 standards, after 12 pass out soon, what do they do? How do they get to know about the best colleges? Anybody has experience? Counselors is one way. Second, through college engineer. office address, you type anything, you'll get a list of service providers. But their problem is how to decide which college is the best. Okay, and college union. This case study was done on January 20. I selected total 8 companies only on education sector, and you just see the small idea how it has turned into the best business proposition, and which we feel that it is very easy for us to do. And they have done it just by developing an app which is useful for the students. College Dunia is an extensive search engine. Basically, it's a search engine. You know how many colleges are associated with this? 30,000 colleges. 30,000. So they connected to all the colleges. College getting free marketing, so they will never say no. Based on your database, they suggest which colleges possibly to get admission in that. Referring the cutoff for the last 3 years, they calculate the average value. Sahil, founder and CEO, a big design alumni, created this college in 2014. Not very old school. 2014 he started this idea. And there are many other apps available, but out of that, college is very popular among the students. That's what students told me. And in 2014 itself, it was one of the top 10 startups by Tech Asia. In 2015, it was one of the top 100 startups in Asia by rate. Somebody has done this analysis. Real story. See, the idea is just to select a college. That's all. Now, on what basis college is selected, that was their criteria. What information they were taking from the college, that was their idea. And people were believing that, surprising. So they defined the importance of the college point of view, the students' point of view, what information that we give. And they were taking the information from the website also. But this college website data is not regularly updated. But they are depending on that. They have MOU with all the colleges and collecting the information directly from website. 2016 India Digital Award for Best Education Website by Internet and Mobile Education. Something where they were very well appreciated because they were increasing the customer base. Freely available. After that, they started charging. Initially, they were not charging. No business will work in this current scenario. Service-oriented business if you start charging in the beginning. What did Geo model has done? In fact, Geo model has given example. He has set the example for others. Now they are charging very heavily. Not heavily, but they are charging, and we are happy to pay them because there is no option. What are their mission? They wanted to be the top education portal and help students in every way in making their decision easier. Every way. They started with college search engine. Now they started so many extracurricular guidance and so many things because they want to expand, they want to lead the market, they want to be there for longer time. And one thing is very sure that if somebody has developed college in 2014, it is not difficult to capture and copy and duplicate this model. Not at all difficult. Easily you can do it. That's why I always tell my students that don't think of doing something different. Just select the company, duplicate it. While doing that thing, what extra value you can add? Little addition can be your invention. That invention can be patented. Because if you think something big thing, initially they talk big thing, and then what happened? Your college, your student, our student, same thing. They are interested to just wind up and finish it. Yes or no? You are in third year, no? Yes, sir. What will you do next year? Duplicate the thing in the best possible way. Okay, they are competitors. Career 360, Shiksha, whatever you say, college, Deco. So there are competitors and they are also doing well, but the market in India is very huge. So what happened, if you develop the new app with some value addition to that, there are investors who will come and put the money because they know that there's a market. There's a potential to excel. And their money will get double in short time. But they cannot put the money in the earlier company, existing company, because every investor cannot put money in every company. So the investors will always follow if there's a market. College Junior mainly provides information about various colleges and universities as well as exam needed to study abroad and one of the prestigious universities such as that. All information about the higher education in India as well as in abroad. Now they started going for abroad. Basically, it's a collection of information, taking the information from the colleges, putting in a different format, and just searching it and producing. Nothing great according to me. What is greatness here is the market because they develop the app which is accepted by the young mind people. Revenue model. So initially they were doing the marketing based on advertising. That model was successful, but not doing very good. So they it also makes money by generating leads for educational institutes, and they started selling the database also. Now see this funding. Founded in 2014 with only a few institutes and tests. Only few institutes. Test means entrance test. They try to enhance their approach outreach to 30,000 universities and include all national exams at the end of this year, end of the first year. Going to foreign funds provided by Gaudi.com CEO. So they started providing additional services so that the students will get attracted to their app. They are doing well. So throughout two financing rounds, it has generated a net worth of 605 million, $605,000. Means how much? How many crores? I don't need the formula calculator. 605,000 into 75. Correct. Few crores. You use calculator and calculate it. Don't use pen and pencil. I have mobile calculator.
5 crores almost 5. 45? Yeah. 5 crores. 5 crores.
But you know that's a seed round. Seed round is the initial stage. Okay, this I done. We done this entire case study we are done with the student. So this exercise I done with the student. A group of students. Every group of students was given different topic, and we used to sit and discuss with them. And there was a lot of interaction. And finally, with this was done by MC students. With this thought process, they all agreed that this everything can be easily done by those students. Because MC student, computer science, IT student can easily develop this app. They said it is very much possible for them to develop this app. The best way to inject this concept of entrepreneurship among the students is first to show the results, successful results. We have done two type of case studies. One case study was the successful business, and second one was the failed business. Those the businesses we failed. So second you take upgrade you take. You know, suppose many times in the industry the people have given some project. Every time everybody is not expert in that particular field. They know basic thing, but every time they are not expert because technology is changing very fast. So sometimes they want to absorb their knowledge. They want to upskill their knowledge. And for that, that concept was taken by this upgrade formula. Redefine digital learning experience to provide access to quality education at the scale. Quality education. This was developed keeping working professional in mind. Working professional, just to take different level of course material. Corporate competency and industry ready programs. All these programs were for industry ready programs only for working professional. When I say working professional, what comes to the mind? This has to be industry standard. Second, niche area cannot be in general. It has to be particular. Third,
Have to suit the timing. Flexibility the timing.
yes, it should be flexible. And even though you charge money, they will pay. So money is not an issue because they can pay the charges. So that's what he did. Mayank Kumar, he had 10 years of experience prior to upgrade and Ravi 5 years of technology and education experience. These three people, they started this, but the whole idea was the first person, and that is Roni's Proven. That was his idea. And these people joined with him. So he had a 25 years of experience right to that. You will find that all those startup companies which are working in education sector, except one company, all were in different fields. Nobody was in education, except one company founder. You know which that company? Only one company founder was in education, Baidu. Baidu? No, he was a passion for teaching. He was working in different company. He was not working in education field, but he was teaching. He has started the profession and he has started training. That's why he wanted to start this company. So rest all people are from different agencies. So no teacher has actually started the company in teaching. All are smiling. Company started in 2015. They acquired some education training. So they acquired the company because they got a best deal. Instead of hiring the new people, they acquired the company so that they can work with the expert and experienced people. Feature a list of top 10 innovative companies. 2018, they acquired another company of their, no, they acquired the interview software. 2019, they partnered with Infosys and Wipro. And now, up to in 2020, they ranked number one on LinkedIn. They crossed 100 crores revenue per month and actually annual run rate of 1200 crores of rupees in 2020. 100 crores per month. What they did, they provided a study material, coaching material, video-based material, and that too for every topmost field, and just to increase their level of skills, upgrade. 100 crores of rupees really matter per month. The year annual revenue was very good. So Upgrade collaborates with academy and corporate to create state-of-the-art online programs focusing on unique skill sets of working profession. They have academic programs, they have content, technology services, so many things, and they started expanding the business because they wanted to be in the market for a longer time. See, these people don't think that they will lead and they will be there in the market for 100 years. As long as it is possible, they have to capture it, they have to maintain it for a longer time. Starting is one thing, maintain is another thing. So they have to continue, otherwise they will not get invested to their company. So presently they are doing well. Target audience, bachelor degree program, master and professional program. See, master and professional program share is 65%, and bachelor degree program they are using this package only for 30%. So basically they are developing for the professional business. Revenue, 2019 operating revenue was 85 crores. Everything is close. Okay, they are competitors. On academy, see their competitors. First I'll show you this. Baidu, $21 billion. Edureka, $2.5 billion. On academy, $3.44 billion. 1 billion is 7,500 crores rupees. Upgrade, $3.5 billion. The company valuation, if you compare with their competitors, not bad, $3.5 billion. Isn't it inspiring? Because everything is there in our field. With this thought process that we should also develop a portal with all these courses, we are setting up digital laboratory here with investment of 40 lakh rupees. We already purchased entire set and very soon this will be operational and we all can upload our lectures and video training sessions on the website. But that was the plan. Next, please. I want to show you a couple of, okay, take topper. What topper does? See, they have developed the app, study material to classes from 5th standard to 12th standard. Maximum funding happens when the business is for students and that too for K-12 up to 12th standard, kindergarten to 12th because the customer segment is very large, customer base is very large. They provide a test preparation platform, test examination. So online examination, after that they enter into so many tests. I'll show you this. See, their plan is online classes, mock tests, adaptive practices, live doubts. Advanced plan they charge for that 45,000 rupees. Online classes, mock tests, all India test series, previous question papers. Normally the thing that happens in the coaching classes. The only thing is that this was on the digital platform. And they are charging huge amount of fees. And just people are paying it because it was something which was started early time. Hyderabad-based education startup has raised funding of 246 crores of rupees from Asian private equity. That much of funding they are raised, and that funding they are using it for development of this lab. So there are so many examples where the people are invested into their company, mainly VCs. The funding sorry, the amount in 2018, $35 million. Again, $2.3 million. October 17, they got $7 million. May 17, they got $336,000. October 15, they got $2 million, and they are taking this funding from different companies. Every year they are taking the funding. Every year they put the money from the investor. Obviously, when investor invests it, there's a possibility that other investor will exit. The new investor come or the other earlier investor exit. So they liquidate their share and they come out. This is a very good business proposition because they were charging from the students and that's why they could collect good amount of revenue. The company is doing that. There's so many things. Then another company, they conduct only class, only test series, online test. And what they do, suppose if they have a question bank, you give the first level of test. If the score is good, then second test with higher level question. So the online monitoring and the level of the question increases. And student can monitor their performance and then they can decide which test they should take. If the performance is bad, then they repeat the same test. If the performance increases, then the quality of the test increases. And the students will ask the question, that means using AI model, artificial intelligence. And with that concept in mind, the test series is doing very well. You'll find that at the end, most of the education sector companies are providing all kind of services now. Because if they don't do that, they will not survive for a long time. Okay, last. I think Topper was sold to Baidu last.
And what value is going
This time what Baidu has done? Baidu has spent 2,000 crores of rupees. 2,000 crores of rupees he has spent just to buy most of the company.
exactly he has Baidu itself has its own model of study material and he is selling at a very high cost. And along with this, what he is
He's killing the competitor. He's becoming a big fish in the market. Everybody is saying that Baiju's business model will collapse after some time.
Because it is a skilled one. I mean, it is already created and he's selling the same thing. I have got that. I've seen that. I got it for my son. I kept it for 3 months. My son, I mean, he has gone through those things.
Not happy
And
with
then
it.
he was happy with her, but the amount is too large. 50,000 for one class study material. Yes, 45 to 50,000 around. They are taking tests also.
I will tell you why it is. It is only because of the call center which they are using, like the marketing.
And one more, the process in which they are giving the teaching also, that also I went into the interview process. I used the interview process because I was just trying out in this COVID time whether we can have like from home we can have another job like that. So I just went into the process. It is nothing. It is absolutely, I mean, very rude type of interview which process which they are taking now.
No, well, that is not the fault of Baidu. That is the person-dependent behavior.
Maybe.
The behavior
And
issue.
that is the
See, in college also, if one teacher is not good, doesn't mean that college is bad.
it's not. The procedure is like you given. They have given a module
Baiju was not trying to convince students. Baiju was trying to convince parents. And it's the
हाँ,
fault of parents that
parents, even parents used to sit beside because when
that
I
was the
gave the
compulsion.
interview, my son got some opportunity for a pre-model.
But Baiju failed to convince me.
Even
I didn't accept it. They were providing good service. The education model was very good, but they were charging very high,
Very
right?
high.
But you never know if the business goes down, they'll come down very drastically. You never know about it, and suddenly people will start loving that. If the cost is the factor, the reason is that
if the cost
now
is low, people
now
might
no
like
parents want this online platform. No parents want it.
no.
So what they are doing, they are buying this company. They got huge amount of funding. 2,000 crores they have spent this year, but this year revenue has come down. This year revenue is 200 to 400 in between somewhere. 200 crores of it. Slowly it may come down, but possibly that they are spending the money in that advertising in IPL matches. Why it is required? Unnecessarily they are spending money. But whatever it is, that is their business model. But still, Baidu is doing presently it is doing good. The course material is very good, and I am very sure they will come out of this.
So my experience with Baidu, like the app is very good. They are having tried with some tab itself, so it is completely.
That app will come directly again.
So there also they are earning.
That means you have to buy tab also.
Yes, and now like that tab cannot be used anywhere again.
Yes,
It is the blank tab.
actually there is a plastic which we use.
Exactly.
Now we can use the tab. That is the second thing. But the service which they are providing to the different marketing people, that is not good. Even I directly communicated with the higher management people because there was some so she knows me very well because I created social media का इस्तेमाल करके I try so much bad things for her. But marketing people know they are not doing good job, and because of that I think Baidu will come. Otherwise the material, the way they communicate with students, excellent.
We'll do this analysis of 1 year after. Let's see what happens. They continuously keep taking feedback and modify their model. So we'll just keep watch on that what are they doing. But what I'm trying to tell you here is, they are very popular companies. Okay, there are many teachers who have developed their app platforms, and they have kept this video free of charge. They have just increased their customer base. There are many teachers, well-standard teachers, I think medical college teachers also, and they have developed this app, and they just want to increase their wealth. Because if that happens, you can get another kind of revenue. So there are many ways to become increase the. Okay, if you know, we'll go through it quickly. Otherwise, I'll just highlight it. Baichu Ravindran in 2011 he started it. 2000. What was he earlier? This is a platform for teachers to teach and students to learn. Okay. This is a platform for both ways, teachers also and students also. He was the founder. He is a BTech Mechanical Engineering from Government Engineering College, Kannur, Kerala. Before starting Baidu, Baidu Ravindran was working in a multinational shipping firm as a service engineer. However, teaching was his passion, and he inspired him to start Baidu. So he started training the students for this IIM CAT examination. He also cracked this CAT examination, but he did not join IIM process. And then he started with this app, and suddenly, see, starting is not a great thing. Make it popular to reach to the student and to make it useful for the customer is a big thing, and that's what he was successful in that. And he was leading just 10, 11 years of time where he is now. So what are the features? Video lectures, personalized coaching, maps to syllabus, universal syllabus. Unlimited practice, in-depth analysis, question library, and a huge library of questions. Now you cannot start any app by taking the questions from others because there's a copyright issue there. So you have to create a new questions and you have to develop this. Why do you become very the learning app very popular? What is this business model? Everybody knows they charge very high, but still people like it because parents are forcing, parents are happy with this. And the kind of video lecture that he has created, that is very impressive. That is very impressive. Nobody can easily develop it. Because you require sophisticated software to develop that. Animated software. Okay, just see the funding. Baiju's total funding today is around $3.1 billion. Around 25,000 crores are okay. कितना है? 7,500 into 3.19. He's ready with this calculation. Better than we'll go for second round of funding. Last infusion of around 296, 2,200 crores. How much? Was $3.1 billion. And how many?
Almost 500 crores.
25. To 35,000. Your calculator is tired. 25,000 crores of this valuation. The total valuation of the company is $18 billion. See, this calculation of valuation is also a very interesting story. When the company is doing very well, the valuation is very high. Suddenly companies go down, the valuation suddenly falls because nobody pays the money for it. We are given, you know how the valuation is calculated? For example, you get 20 lakh rupees funding against 10% equity. So 10%, 20 lakh, 100%, that way we have to calculate. So the valuation of your company will become 200, means 2 crores of rupees. And further calculation depends on your customer base, your employee, your technology value that you are giving, and this is the valuation of the company. But major factor in company valuation calculation is customer base. Revenue factor, there are so many factors, but major factor is customer base. How many customers are there? Companies are doing very well. That's why investors are putting money. In the year 2016, this line I highlighted it. Baidu became the first company in Asia to receive funding from Chan Zuckerberg initiative, an initiative by Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg. First funding came from, for education sector, funding came from Mark Zuckerberg initiative. And that's how Baidu suddenly started flourishing. Baidu is doing well. Nobody could compete with it. People started with different concepts, different ideas, but whatever the concept that they developed was big. You know the first company which was entered into this digital platform on education sector? Before Baidu. This one. Khan Academy. Salman Khan Academy. Salman Khan from Bangladesh. That was his name was Salman Khan, but from Bangladesh. And who has funded that? Bill Gates. He was not charging anything from anybody. So many videos were uploaded. You know what was the problem with that software? That did not become popular in Asia because of English accent. That was from US point of view. And all this Baidu became popular because, no doubt, it evolved very well. But initially became very popular because of the easy to understand language. Easy to understand language. Khan was not popular in India. Khan Academy was not at all popular in India. Not at all popular in Asia. Oh, this is, we don't like to listen to this because it is not possible to match this. It's beyond our thought process. But there are other companies, the people have started it. I wanted to
Can I share something?
Please.
Out of the way, but something interesting. I come from, my hometown is Adiko, Baiju's hometown.
Yes.
I come from Kerala. It's a small village in Kerala, and Baiju's parents were both school teachers, and he studied in a Malayalam medium school.
Okay.
And my cousins, my first cousins, of course, I came away to Mumbai long back because I studied in Mumbai, but my cousins have played with Baiju, and they used to always say that when they would play cricket matches, and they would always say that the moment Baiju comes to bat, everybody would run away because he was so good, and he was an all-rounder. He was into everything. So in the year 2007, my cousin, my Masi's son, he called me up one day and he said that I have a friend and he's a very close friend of mine and he he does coaching for IIM. So I was teaching BJP at that time. I was a faculty over there. So he said that can we come, will you give us an opportunity to address your final year students?
And he gave me hardly 2 days notice. I said, let me see what I can do. So I called a bunch of final year students. There were about 1,500 of them. And so the person who came along with him was Baju.
Oh.
So they were staying over at my place,
Which
2006. And Baju came and he started addressing the students. And the students were very impressed because the way he was teaching math, that time he used to go for coaching. So the way he was teaching math was something that these children had never seen or never experienced. And there was one girl student of mine from mechanical. I'm from the mechanical background, by the name Anita Kishore. She was exceptionally bright and university topper and everything. So she told me, she said, ma'am, this person is really very good. So he asked me that, will you give me an opportunity to come and, conduct classes in BJPI for students who want to do into IM, and will you take care of it? I said, see, I can give you the opportunity, but I will not manage this activity because this is, I don't want to get into all these commercials. So I requested my placement officer, I said, will you help him out? So for 3 years, Baiju used to conduct his training for Mumbai students in BJPI. So in the DPO's office, he used to, conduct these classes. And of course, weekends he used to go everywhere. So that year, this girl Anita, who was in the final year, she cracked. She did not join any other coaching class. She was only with Baiju. She cracked, got into IIM Ahmedabad, and topper over there as well. And then, she used to go over the weekends and conduct classes for him here and there, everywhere. My cousin at that point in time was working for Wipro. But the moment Baiju started in 2011, he quit his job in Wipro and he joined Baiju. Anita is today Baiju's Chief Strategic Officer. She is full time with Baiju. She is his Chief Strategic Officer. And my cousin is his Senior Vice President, Sales and Marketing. So, when you're talking about marketing, I always tell him that.
Madam, you should do this feedback to them.
His name is Rajesh Nambiar. So, you will always be the big boss to whom all the young guy. I mean, he's hardly just about 40 years old. But the history of Baiju is, he's a very, very humble guy. And very, very, even today, you meet him, of course, I have not met him in a very long time, but that is how his career took off, because he was very passionate about teaching and exceptionally good as a teacher. So when he used to conduct his classes, our students used to say that he is really too good.
It's too good, it's successful.
How to solve the math problem.
Yeah, yes.
But
There is no excuse for the video.
videos and especially
I know the marketing. I keep telling my cousin, I said every month, because see, even our children are employed by Baiju. From various colleges they employ, na? They are employed, but they say ki it is, they really make you slog. They will give you an 8 lakh pay package, but they will make you slog. So they don't last beyond the year. So I keep telling him, I said a lot of complaints about you.
The last person whom I connected with him, I got the numbers like anyway. They surprised like how you got my number. I said, don't worry, I know that trick.
These things keep happening in business.
I know.
But I suggested her model.
Very aggressive their marketing is. It's something that we are not, we don't like and we are not used to.
No, we are lacking there actually. This is our problem, that we don't give importance to the market. Even our business.
They is very aggressive.
See, I tell you one thing. In Mumbai, you take example of any engineering college. We are losing students for PG. But we are not doing anything. Nobody is doing anything. I had gone to Shegaon College, and the students, I was talking with the student, and I asked them, what do you do after graduation? They said, we don't get job here. No companies coming to our college. I said, then what are you doing? They said, we are preparing for GATE examination. And then they said, we go to Pune or some other institute, IIT. Everybody don't get in IIT. So they try for IIT, other institute. And then finally, some of them are just trying for lower kind of jobs in Pune. I said, why don't you try in our college? Do you know SPIT college? They say, some of them say yes, but we don't know that ME is also, ME courses, MTech courses are also good and will get placement. So somehow we are not doing marketing. That's what I would do. Every college is facing problem for PG courses, and we are not doing anything. Hi, sir.
So I would like to add, just out of curiosity, one question for every one of us, that we are talking about so many education startups, so many exams. So in last 2 years, you know how we have conducted exams for our Mumbai University students and how they have passed. So did you come across any solution in this journey, or was something proposed to have exams in a proper way for students? Did anyone come across this hurdle? Because anyways, you know, we all knew that students are doing online examination, they are copying and everyone is getting 10 pointers. So did anyone land up with some solution or some came with some solution or not? That is just out of curiosity, sir, because because it is actually we are talking
No, we
about
did lot of experiments.
Yeah.
We did lot of experiments. Every semester we modified the model.
Okay.
And by the time the model was better than earlier, we have recovered our problems, so now we are not talking about it. But the same problem I had asked in examination in my course subject, robotic vision course. I asked this problem that online guided monitoring system, design guided monitoring system during examination. The students they wrote something, they came out of the examination and they were discussing what kind of question had come. And three students they approached me from computer department. They said we have got very good idea, can we discuss on it? And I said you didn't write in examination. They said there we were not allowed to discuss there. During exam time they cannot discuss. Those students came to me, we discussed on it, they filed the patent is published. I told them, why don't you publish the patent? So that patent I'll share with you.
Sure, sir.
What new idea they have considered while for this guided examination system, guided monitoring.
And I completely agree with you because, when we used to have the meeting of principals, which used to happen, I used to often say there was a lot of focus on or the emphasis. I mean, being a principal, I'm telling this, but there was too much of emphasis on the technicality in terms of paper. We should form cluster and this cluster and that cluster. I said, why are you not discussing how we should design a question paper so that at least the answers are authentic? So when we were permitted to do our internal assessment, what we did is we used the case study pattern. So case study pattern you use, then there is no question. And the case study would come randomly because we have been using Moodle as an element system since the beginning of our college. So we were able to, our faculty are very proficient in that. So we use case study pattern. I said, because we are not autonomous, we have no control over the university exam. But we can control what we are assessing as far as our students are concerned. That was very tragic, that everyone was interested in the modality rather than, how do you assess people properly.
Okay, the last one, Unacademy. Have you heard about Unacademy? The videos are really very good.
I think today's paper also says they have laid off quite a few people, no? An academy has laid off about 150 people.
Cutting down
Yeah, cutting
business
down.
is come down. Parents don't want the students to study online because they are not the teaching learning is not effective nowadays. Okay, what is the best part of this Unacademy? They provide so many exam preparation for bank exam, railway exam, defense exam, DAA exam. They started adding more and more examinations for people so that they'll get connected with this Unacademy. Even after graduation, even after 12th standard, they'll be connected with this because for exam. So this Unacademy is doing well. Their charges are not very high. Uh, just a minute. 7 reasons behind the success of Unacademy. Background of founder. Concentrate heavy on courses which need relearning. Spreading out the burden of creating new content. Monetizing the followership quickly by launching a premium services. Okay. Risk associated with launching a premium product. Low cost content creation. Now you develop the new product which student will like it, and if you are charging lesser than what Byju is charging, people will opt for it. Provided they like it. Scalability of the offering. Cost factors also matter because you have to compete with it. I'll just start for because I wanted to take this one. On Academy was started by See the age, 29 years, 27 years, 29 years. Very young people, Roman, Gaurav, and Himesh. These are education qualifications, BTech in electronics, computer science, and MBBS from IIM. All these three things, they started this Unacademy. It is an online education hub which is based in Bangalore. India's largest learning platform. Tagline also represents their passion to change the way of education. Unacademy bringing to our nation's future kids with the best education content. How it is different than Byju's? Same thing. So all are inspired from that Byju's model. The only thing is that they are providing the same thing, same bundle of knowledge, different, and they are successful in doing that. User gets to view online videos of their curriculum as designed by experienced educators. Unacademy app is available not only for 10 plus 2 students, but also for college applicants who are qualifying for competitive examination. As I told you, they started for the school children, now they expanded for everyone. Company started in 2015. Baidu started in 2011, and they started in 2015. And you made Baidu in 2007. After that, is there any connection?
Yeah, after that, on and off.
Okay. So first they started, see the funding round. First round, seed funding, May 2016, $500,000. Second round, seed funding, August 2016, $1 million, 7.5 crores. Third round funding, January 17, May 16, August 16, January 17. They were just trying to get money into their business. $4.5 million, around 330 crores. These people as a venture partner, they are invested in money. Why did people invested money when they knew that another app is doing very well? Because market is very huge. They knew that they will not be able to cater this market. Baidu will not be able to reach to everyone. Baidu's app is for slightly higher income people. So they started catering to the lower income people. And if you develop something free of cost, people will definitely invest the money. September 17, July 18, July 19, every after 6 months they are getting funding. The funding is $50 million. Recently, this was up to 20.
Normally, this money comes at equity.
Equity, always equity. They liquidate their equity. Share for capital. Share in the company. High competition among other challenges that they face. Donation for Unacademy, they got huge donation. Supporting team. Finally, they were competing and they were able to do it. But I see the videos of this Unacademy, they are really very good. Okay. In simple terms, Unacademy offers some of its basic services for free. The initial services are free. When you go for premium services, then you have to pay the subscription. Subscription fees for, I think it is content-wise or monthly basis. During that month, we will have to utilize it. One of the faculty members from our college, he started this online platform learning on mathematics subject. The name of the company is EC, Narrow Sir. It's only for mathematics subjects. And the content is very good. It's not a video lecture, it's only text information. But content-wise, it is very, very, very good. Now, we charge you only 200 rupees one-time payment for lifetime for that particular subject. Only 200 rupees. So you pay for mathematics 200 rupees, that is for you. And you can refer it anytime. You cannot download, you cannot copy it, you cannot send it to anyone. It is only for use it only on the mobile or tab. He has not developed it for laptop also. But I think he has developed recently for Apple iPhone. He got 30 lakh rupees funding from government. All are all are computer of each other. Everybody is computer of each other. But still there are people and they are getting huge amount of funding. What we can contribute from our side, we cannot immediately compete with them, but we can definitely create our own content, keep it on the YouTube, and just make a customer segment wider range. But don't think that if you do that, students will not attend your lecture. Or otherwise, you keep some material which is not beyond your syllabus, and so that they will benefit at large. Which we plan to do that, and that's why we are setting up this digital. Thank you very much.